Solving a linear equation with several occurrences of the variables on both sides, and fractional coefficients. So if you notice, in this particular topic, we have fractions again. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about how we're going to clear the fractions, just in case you haven't watched the other video explaining that. And so what we want to do is we want to look at our denominators. So in this case, we've got 3, 3, and 4. And we want to find a common multiple. Now in some cases you can see, well, the common multiple between 3 and 4 would be 12. And so you could go ahead and multiply each number by 12. But let's say that you didn't see or can't figure out the common multiple. So what you can do is you can go ahead, now you will have big numbers to mess with, but you can still take each of the denominators and multiply them together. So in this case, we're taking 3 times 3 times 4, and that gets us 24. Maybe I should write this over here. I didn't do it in the other video, but so in this case, we're taking that 3 times 3 times 4 equals 24. Okay, and we're going to multiply each number by 24. Notice I've grouped that negative sign with that 4. And we'll write 24 here. 24 here. Okay, and when you're doing this, we're multiplying each number, or in this case, we're going to cross simplify with the denominators. Okay, so 24 can be divided by 3, and that gives us 8. Okay, so I'm going to write 8 times 1 v right there, because that's what we have left over. In this case, we have no denominator to divide that 24 with. So we are going to multiply those two numbers together. So 24 times 4 gets us negative 96. Bring down your equal sign. I'm going to go ahead and start drawing our line. Again, we're going to cross simplify or divide. So 24 divided by 3 is again 8. So I'm going to put 8, and then parentheses are negative 7v. Now we're going to do the same thing. 24 divided by 4 is 6. I'm going to put a plus sign here because just for now, so we can see it. And then negative 7 here. Okay, so we have gone ahead and we've cross-simplified. We've gotten rid almost of the fractions. Our next step is going to be to completely multiply. If you are using a calculator, I'm going to write those steps up here. You would type in 24. You would press your parentheses button. And then you will type in 1. And depending on which calculator you have, you'll press either the fraction key or you'll press the division sign. You'll type in 3, close parentheses, and enter. Now when you do that, it actually gives you the answer that we will be having here. So 8 times 1 is 8. And so your calculator will give you this step here. And of course, we're going to bring that negative 96 down. We've got 8 times a negative 7. gets us negative 56 V. And then 6 times the negative 7 gets us negative 42. Okay, so if you are using a calculator, again, and doing this step up here, I'm going to kind of move my cursor around so you can see. If you're using the calculator for this step, it will give you the negative 57. Okay, now from here, we're going to go ahead and solve the equation like we normally would. We're going to move our numbers to the right side, so we're starting with this negative 96. And since it's negative, we're going to add 96 to both sides. Okay, so we've got negative 42 plus 96. That gets us a positive 54. We're going to bring down our negative 56V. And of course these canceled. And we're bringing down that 8V. Okay, so that took care of step 2. So now we're moving on to step 3. And step 3 is to move the letters to the left side. As you see here, we've got this V. This negative 56V, we need to move it to the other side. Since it's negative, we're going to add, because we want it to cancel. We want it to zero out. So we're going to bring it over here. So 8 plus our 56 is going to get us 64V equals 54, because we're bringing down our 54. We are going to divide both sides by 64, because again, we're trying to get that V by itself. Okay, now we've got this fraction here, and when we punch it into the calculator and we divide it, of course, the calculator gave us a decimal. And of course, Alex doesn't want a decimal. If we've got the opportunity to put a fraction in, that's what Alex is going to want. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to take this 56 and we're going to reduce it. Okay, so we're going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. Because they both have an even number at the end. So let's divide it by 2. So that gets us 27 over 32. And looking at that, there doesn't seem to be anything that either of those have in common to reduce further down. Okay, so our answer for this one is going to be 27 over 32. Now, if you are using a calculator, when you get to this step, again, depending on which calculator you're using, they do have a button that's F to D, or maybe it's D to F. Okay, there is that button. If you're using the one that I recommended, right above the Enter key, there is a button that's got a squiggly line and double arrows, which is basically meaning fraction to decimal also. And so if you press that, it should go ahead and also bring up your reduced fraction to where you don't even have to reduce it. The calculator should reduce it for you. And this is what you need to do for this particular topic.